quick question for you. You used to play Xbox or anything like that?
Not Xbox. I never played Xbox.
You didn't have like a YouTube channel?
YouTube, yeah, but not Xbox.
What was the YouTube channel about?
Video games.
What type of video games?
Minecraft.
Minecraft?
Today, I'm telling you about something completely terrible. I'm telling you about the rise and fall of one of the greatest names on YouTube, and how somebody so perplexing, so complex, could so simply throw away an entire career. PopularMMOS, right? It was, in its prime, made up of Pat and Jen. Around the early 2020s, Pat and Jen split. Now, a channel being built around two members, and having those two members split apart, obviously the channel did not last. And with it, they went on their merry ways. Jen became a, family woman. She had a family, and that was her whole goal. Pat, however, went down a completely different route. Consistently getting into legal debacles in the 2020s, and recently, footage has surfaced of his most recent arrest from around a year ago, where he is drunk and passed out on the sidewalk, awoken by police officers, and then tries to flee. Now, it's odd to imagine this, but Pat hasn't been the smartest guy ever. A lot of us like to almost romanticize him in our heads, where when we were kids, we thought he was super cool and smart and awesome, but he's never really been that. I mean, before YouTube, and he's said this himself, he would fake going to college, then almost got kicked out, then switched his major like 4 times, and then started YouTube. If it was not for YouTube, I mean, bro would have just ended up here way earlier on the timeline. But thanks to YouTube, he got to influence a lot of our childhoods. Unfortunately, what this means is that you have an entire generation of people who have basically woken up to the fact, going into their teenage years, that one of their childhood heroes is a complete goddamn mess. A complete nightmare scenario. Other similar YouTubers from the time, Stampy, he's gone, pretty much. He's faded back into obscurity. Dan TDM has come out with depression. And a lot of these people, especially me, people who watched these creators growing up, are becoming wiser to the fact that a lot of these people were fucked up. Not like bad people or anything, just they have issues, like every other person. And maybe getting an insane amount of wealth like that, doing very little, probably stunted a lot of their growth, and probably led to some other issues. Pat would start his channel in 2012, while he was still in college. He would actually finish his degree, and he has a degree in psychology, which is very interesting. He got his big break on YouTube, of course, doing mods and Minecraft, and I'm not going to cover his whole rise to fame on YouTube, because plenty of people have done that, and they've done it in better condition than I could ever. I could never accomplish what some people do, alright? But I would like to bring up a couple of things. The fall of Pat's channel, coincided with a rise in drinking, and a massive rise in crime. Consistently, since about 2020-ish, his life has gone completely upside down. Now again, this leaves people of my generation in an awkward position. A lot of my generation has kind of shifted onto this idea of, this is just depressing to watch. And it is. You're veritably watching a man ruin his own life. And it makes you wonder that, how long can Pat keep up this nasty lifestyle of drugs, women, and expensive luxurious items? The Minecraft well has to be drying up at least at some point, and after that, it's unknown what would happen to him. Pat is in an interesting position. He's been kind of radio silent for about a year. The last major thing he uploaded was the PopularMMOS podcast, which, in case you haven't watched it, it is gold. It's him and his great buddy Mike, and the podcast is objectively bad, but it's so bad it's good. It really is. It's so bad it's good. Basically what I kind of wanted to say is that this footage isn't even new. This is from a year ago. He could have improved. He could have also degraded. He could have gotten worse. We don't know. All you can really do is hope for the best, and on that note, I'd like to leave you off with one last thing. Notably to, the future YouTubers of my generation, we, as the next generation of these people, can look at their mistakes and not repeat them. that may seem hard. And I think now with a lot of streamers, you see this sentiment a lot more. You see streamers practicing different things, more or less varying up their content styles and their skills, and you see a lot of them not necessarily put everything into it. That's great. That's an insane improvement from the daily content grind that many of these YouTubers spent a decade or more on. And while many of them are set up in fairly good financial positions, you can see that that financial position can also be a burden for people like Pat. And with the next generation of content creators, hopefully, we've learned a little bit more, and we can grow upon some of these consistent failures of the last generation. This of course varies case to case. Like, I don't believe people like Johnny Somali will ever improve. And last I heard of that guy, he's in jail in South Korea. But at the end of the day, most people I think can. And on that note, closing thoughts. Pat, big part of our childhoods. He's kind of a wreck right now. And before you leave, by the way, there are my channels in the description, gaming, slop, and the live channel, which I will be moving on to for live streams. And with that, have a great night, alright?